What is up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Last video we talked about a more recent case, what happened to Evelyn Boswell. It's still an ongoing case, so if there are any case updates, I will make a video about it. But today's case is an older case. It's not as old as the D.D. Jackson one, but it is about 20 years old this year. The case is solved. There's so much information going into it because this case involves a U.S. congressman. Before I get into this video, I'm just going to say it's going to be a two-parter. This first part is going to be talking about our victims, background a little bit, what happened to her relationship with the U.S. congressman. Let's just get right into the case. So, a 24-year-old woman from California who has hazel eyes and unruly brown curls left her DuPont Circle apartment in Washington, D.C. and just disappeared. That 24-year-old woman was CHANDRA LEVY. So, CHANDRA LEVY was born on April 14th of 1977 in Cleveland, Ohio, to Susan and Robert Levy. She had a younger brother named Adam. There wasn't a lot of information about Adam. Her family and her moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Modesto, California, and this is where she attended Grace M. Davis High School. That's where she graduated from. Her parents were members of Congregation of Beth Shalom, a conservative Jewish synagogue, and CHANDRA attended San Francisco State University, where she earned a degree in journalism. After interning for the California Bureau of Secondary Education and working in the office of Los Angeles Mayor Richard Riordan, I don't know if that's how you say his last name, that's just how it looks, she began attending the University of Southern California to earn a master's degree in public administrations. As part of her final semester in college for this public administrations degree, CHANDRA moved to Washington, D.C. to become a paid intern with the Federal Bureau of Prisons in October of 2000. She began her internship at the Bureau's headquarters, where she was assigned to public affairs. Her supervisor, Bureau spokesperson Dan Dunn, was impressed with CHANDRA's work, especially her handling of media inquiries regarding the upcoming execution of Timothy McVeigh. He was convicted of being the bomber of the Oklahoma City Federal Building. So, he was really impressed with her work. She did a good job on public inquiries, but suddenly her internship was terminated in April of 2001 because her academic eligibility had been found to expire in December of 2000. But CHANDRA had already completed her master's degree and was scheduled to return to California in May 2001 to graduate from the University of Southern California with her public administration degree. So this kind of leads up to her disappearance. She was supposed to go home in May of 2001 to graduate, but CHANDRA was last seen on May 1st of 2001. The Metro Police Department of Columbia was first alerted on May 6th when CHANDRA's parents called from Modesto to report that they haven't heard from their daughter in 5 days. Police called hospitals and visited her apartment and found no signs of foul play. On May 7th, Robert, CHANDRA's father, told police that his daughter had been having an affair with a U.S. congressman. He told police that he believed that U.S. congressman to be Gary Condon. So, what we've learned so far is that CHANDRA was last seen on May 1st. Nobody's seen her since. Her parents called on May 5th or May 6th, hey, we haven't seen our daughter in 5 days. The next day, Robert tells police that he believes that U.S. Congressman Gary Condon was having an affair with his daughter, CHANDRA LEVY. So CHANDRA's aunt also called the police and told them that CHANDRA had confided in her about the affair. So this is now 2 family members who have said that CHANDRA had admitted to having an affair with a U.S. congressman. Police obtained a warrant on May 10th to conduct a formal search of CHANDRA's apartment. Investigators found her credit cards, her ID, cell phone, all of them left behind in her purse, along with partially packed suitcases. The answering machine was full of messages left by her relatives and 2 from Gary Condon, the U.S. congressman that her father and aunt claimed she was having an affair with.
The voicemail you're about to hear is from disgraced former Congressman Gary Condon.
6:30. Haven't heard from you. Maybe you're out of the country or something. Anyway, give me a call to pick up this message back.
A police sergeant tried to examine Chandra's laptop and corrupted the search history because he was not trained to do so. So he messed up the entire search history. They couldn't see what her last searches were and whatnot. Computer experts took a month to reconstruct the data to determine that the laptop was used on the morning of May 1st to search websites related to Amtrak, Baskin-Robbins, Gary Condon, and then Southwest Airlines, and a weather report from the Washington Post. The last search on her computer was at 12:24 p.m. on May 1st, and it was for the location of Pierce Klingle Mansion, a historic house in Rock Creek Park that is used as the park's administrative office. On July 25th of 2001, 3 DC police sergeants and 28 police cadets searched along Glover Road in the park, but failed to find evidence related to Chandra. Later, a second attempt found nothing. So as you can tell, they've done 2 searches of this park, and they have found nothing. They have done nothing. But you're probably wondering, what was her relationship with Gary Condon? So Gary Condon was born on April 21st of 1948 in Salina, Oklahoma. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's spelled Salina. So if it's not how you pronounce it, comment down below and tell me. He married Carolyn Berry in 1967. They were only 18 at the time, and they married in January of that year. And by July, they had their first son, Chad. A couple years later, they had their second kid, Candy. His relationship to Chandra, it's said numerous times, people throughout this whole case say that he had an affair with Chandra. Simple, he had a sexual affair with Chandra. Her dad believed it, her mom believed it, her aunt believed it. A lot of people believed that U.S. Congressman Gary Condon had a relationship and an affair with Chandra Levy. So media coverage of Chandra's disappearance drew a lot of attention. There was a lot of attention on this case because it involved a U.S. congressman. Her parents and friends held numerous vigils, so this kept bringing in more media coverage. They held news conferences in an attempt to bring Chandra home. They believed that Chandra was out there. They believed that she was going to come home. So Condon's a married man and had been that way for a while. He's been married since 1967, and at first he denied the fact that he had a relationship with Chandra, and this didn't convince people. People still believe that he had something to do with her disappearance. Like, was she going to tell somebody? Was she going to tell the public that she was having an affair? Was she meeting with his wife at the Rock Creek Park, in that house that she looked up? Police had already stated that Condon was not a suspect. He wasn't a suspect. They talked to him a few times, but Chandra's family didn't believe this. Her mom and dad believed that they felt that Gary Condon was being evasive and possibly hiding information about their daughter's disappearance. So they believe that he has something to do with their daughter's disappearance, and unidentified police sources alleged that Condon had admitted to having an affair with Chandra during an interview with law enforcement officers on July 7th, 2001. So only a couple months after Chandra disappeared, he admitted to having the affair with her. So it said. Condon described her to police as a vegetarian who avoided drinking and smoking. I find this a little weird because he said he didn't really know her very well. And here he is saying she's a vegetarian. She avoided drinking and smoking, which is something that I think only friends would really know about somebody. He thought that Chandra was going to return to Washington, D.C. after she graduated, and was surprised to find out that her apartment lease had ended. He's surprised to find out that her apartment lease ended. this to me just shocks. This just kind of hits me as odd. Investigators searched Condon's apartment on July 10th. They questioned, I don't think they found anything, to be honest, in his apartment. They then questioned flight attendant Anne-Marie Smith, who claimed that Condon told her she did not need to speak to the FBI about his personal life. Federal officers began investigating Condon for possible obstruction of justice, as Anne-Marie Smith was also in an affair with Condon, but she was not acquainted with Chandra. So they have found the fact that he has now had 2 affairs with Chandra Levy and now with a flight attendant named Anne-Marie Smith, and they're investigating him for obstruction of justice because he probably knows something about Chandra's disappearance that he's not telling the people about. So Condon became upset by leaks to the media about his part in the investigation. People believed he was doing this. And you have to keep in mind, at this time in the investigation, Condon was running for a public house. He was running for a political position. So bad press, bad media doesn't look good for him. Condon refused to submit to a polygraph test by the DC police. His attorney asserted that Condon passed a test administered by a privately hired examiner on July 13th. Which I find very odd that it was a privately hired examiner, because it probably didn't happen if it was privately hired. And it is kind of odd that he wouldn't do a polygraph test with the DC police, in my opinion. On August 23rd of 2001, Condon did a live interview with news anchor Connie Chung on ABC's Primetime Thursday. So I'm going to put some clips of it in this video, and you can see that he avoids answering direct questions about Chandra. Like, he is completely and totally just avoiding anything in his power talking about Chandra.
Was Chandra Levy in love with you? Did you have anything to do with her disappearance? Did you kill Chandra Levy? Can you describe your relationship? What exactly was your relationship with Chandra Levy?
Well, I met Chandra last October, and we became very close. I met her in Washington, D.C.
Very close, meaning?
We had a close relationship. I liked her very much.
May I ask you, was it a sexual relationship?
Well, Connie, I've been married for 34 years, and I've not been a perfect man, and I've made my share of mistakes.
Chandra's disappearance in May leads into June, July, and now August. Nobody knows where Chandra's at, and the media coverage was intensive on this case until September 11th of 2001, which was when 9/11 happened. All the media coverage then shifted to this. These attacks were so brutal that Chandra kind of was pushed to the side, made it seem like she wasn't cared about. The media coverage on Chandra's case, bad media coverage on Gary Condon, while he was running for a political office, really made him look bad. So a lot of people decided they weren't going to vote for him. So on March 5th of 2002, Gary Condon lost his political election. Now that's where I'm going to pause and stop this video, because that kind of helps understand what's going to happen in the next video, which is going to be talking about the discovery of Chandra Levy's remains. Look at the evidence, look at the people who were convicted, look at the suspects, look at everything that happened, how Chandra was murdered. Was she murdered? Was it accidental? Was there sexual assault that happened? Did Gary Condon have anything to do with the disappearance of Chandra Levy? So I hope you guys enjoyed this first part. I know it was quick, easy. I will see you guys in part 2 of the Chandra Levy case. So I hope you guys enjoyed. So remember to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below if you think I missed anything. If I did, comment down below what I missed, because I do like the feedback. It's very easy to talk about in the next video. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye.